我想講，佢可以大可以直接一套雷之就會死咯。
啊！屌隻鏡仔好撚廢喎，中路都咁 carry 420，可唔可以唔好咁啊？哇！好似有得打喎，啊冇啦。
唔係啊，拉開咗經濟嚟少佢。但係呢啲經濟一個 balance 就會翻盤。
唉，睇咗嗰次之後都唔嘅。反正今次 MSI 好多偷巴龍啊！
喂，第一日都偷我3次啦。
係一場比賽咗2次啊，互偷啊！我唔記得 LG 打邊隊啊？偷嚟偷去，哦呢個開，可唔可以唔好俾佢走啊？個挑逗人啊！
好犀利乜佢啲幾醒目。喂，哇！我唔賺得過就死佢。唉 shit！
如果佢阿 Fik 或者 Echo 玩得咁好都冇。
喂，唔賺得嗰啲人，屌！
哇！下邊要有啦，係咪要有啦？哎呀，哎俾人夾啦，仆街！
咁你豬啊回！
喂 ，quick！煲完你幾時走啊咁？
點樣叫做幾份做邊份工啊？
你明？你 exchange 咩？
嚇你 exchange 唔係學校安排㗎？哦。
我明啱乜啦？
我都唔係好明啊。
即係係啦，屌！
而家有咩俾你揀應該話？Nike 做啲乜嘢啊？咁邊個 payment 嗰個？
哇正喎！
咁做 Nike 啦，
咁做 Nike 啦。
做 Nike 啦，到時你會好受歡迎啊！我相信，我絕對相信好受。
仲可以順便炒鞋添喎。
只要喺講我做 Nike。
黃偉俊做 Nike 有 discount， 不過我哋都冇乜人着做咩，即係買 Nike。
你先係打籃球嗰個標喎。
哦。
唔知咩標打。
Freedom 啊。
係啊，所以
正常鬥曲下嘅。有冇人做 commerce 我想問，有冇人做 commerce？
你幫佢識咯。
好少可咯，都唔係嘅，啲人上莊搞嗰啲搬嘢嗰啲 crack 咪係。
係嗰個高高 van 啊，
都係嘅。
有啊，我會搭 Uber。
唔係我而家搭 Uber 都有50蚊啦，唔係咩？係咯。啊真係㗎？哇正喎！
遲啲的士加價，咪多啲人搭 Uber 咯。
我講梗係 Uber 搭翻樹人啦。
啱啊！我正想咁講。
幾錢？我想問要幾錢啊？
我諗200啦。但我
要過隧道過海。
唔係啊，其實大陸啲 Uber 平好多，翻大陸就搭 Uber
啊。
係啦，嗰啲。
你敢唔敢搭啊？你有冇睇新聞啊 ？Yahoo 啊！
我冇問冇事喎，搭咁多次冇事。
個女乘客俾人強姦，跟住然後
屌你咩？我又唔係一個人搭。
嚇，係咪一個人搭都唔係問題喎，師傅。
放心啦，你唔會俾人強姦，放心。
我唔會俾人強姦咯。你
俾人夾喎！我見過有一家大細去搭，跟住然後兩邊無啦有男人夾住咗，連埋司機一齊。但係嗰邊真係唔係講笑嘅，師傅。
嗰啲應該係假嘅。
嗰啲就好。
你真係好信大陸喎！我真係祝你好運啊！
嚇，我教咁多次冇問題。好冇？嗰啲咁啲垃圾的士唔能載你㗎，夠。
係
話太近又唔撚在，但係其實都唔係好，即係行好遠啊，搭車好近。
搭啲的士都仲惡過香港嗰啲。
啊！
惡啊，好撚惡啊！
簡單啦，出反甲咯。
我都係301隻，我唔厭。
5個反甲咯，就好似之前我隻嘢俾人屌打，
今日啱。
呢個係一個好嚴重嘅問題。Big mana yo. Why is crypto ballad？唉，
我唔
唉，講先，唉，真係。一隻兵啊，070。
斌爺入買 skin 哦 ，Why you so rich？
佢飛翻咁
我佢俾隻 Naru 秒咗喎，踩機踩死咗喎。
正常啊，咁撚肥嗰邊。0703隻兵，好世界級。
你有大技噶嘛？驚乜嘢啊 Kendra？ 好快啊 JG！
冇得打嘢啦，我同你
任唔敢入，哇！
但問題要唔死咯，係。
啊！
冇死啊嗱嚕！哇 Q 啊嗱嚕！哇，就好似反打添喎，黐線嘅。
佢咁樣攞到塔嚟殺我喎，點玩佢啊？
哇！佢冇咩啊？佢冇咩子彈啊！哇！好廢啊！隻 Jungle 做乜嘢啊？佢係咪唔識玩鏡爪啊？真係睇到唔開胃。
睇個。
哇！新嗰啲 icon 靚，我想買個。我想買隻
咩啊
烏鴉，新嗰啲 icon 幾靚，我想買隻烏鴉。
啊！俾幾人 shut down 仆街，唔特登嘅。
哇，兩條鏈！哇，兩條鏈啊！
係啊，想仆街咯，特登。而且係。佢都唔撚俾我仆街。仆街！你點打問號啊？好串啊！
哇！
哦，死咗啊
520都要死啊！哇！加速啊！哇！哇！今次 Graves carry 啊！
咁而家就 SKT 同呢個 G 同分嘅咯。
SKT 24咩？
係啊，一日贏晒之後2日輸晒咯。
嚇唔係喎，呢個唔係 BO 嚟嘅咩？
梗唔係啦，
嘛，
第2番小組賽啊，
都未晉級。
Double Round Robin 啊，
而
而家 Robin 2啊。哇！反打！
贏咗場。
使唔使去2打1啦？
踩係咪要踩？係咪要踩？係咪要踩啊？踩！
我先係2打2啊！佢哋。好，各位反應。
LBW 大嘅應該時間哇！冇人夠膽埋個親啊！
救命啊！
Q
咁呢個唔識。
今日星期六啊，你哋知唔知啊？今日星期六3點啊！
唔
如果
係
SKT，如果 SKT
咁樣，佢咁樣翻古玩咩？
都係6-4嘅。
我係細路仔啊！我係細路仔，見我自己100我都唔想玩啦。
嗯，
即係唔係廢問題，係咁樣玩好玩咩？
嗰條友叫咩名啊？等我揾下先。
哇！呢一套屌撚咗。
一睇知道小雞屌。
哇！冇我
揾下呢啲邪啊、天啊、帝啊、滅啊。
唔係有啲傾嘅，一定係咯，屌啦！
睇到都唔開胃。哇！佢暗 rank 喎，你點睇打咁耐？
佢打咁耐係咩啊？
邪惡咩啊？佢冇打過 rank 咯，真係佢淨係玩咩咯 ？NG 咯。跟然後佢而家係第一場 rank 嘅邪惡
都
劇。
第一場。
佢應該
哇！仲唔
係
使死啊 check。
佢應該係新手，I mean 係真係新手喎。佢得23個團隊合作，14個 honor。
落嚟！哇！過去過去！
哇！死到機法師係咪要死啊？機法師係咪要死啊？
冇死到。
超暈喎呢個咩？
達唔到咁老監喎。哇！咁都死唔到啊！
好似好吸力喎。
機法師。
我知啊，我見到。
佢個護罩會唔會擺得太咩啊？
跟住佢 flash 嗰俾我招魂招血啊！
好快啊 Echo，唔係即係 Kindred。
係邊個廢啊真係？
佢之前玩都冇咁差㗎，佢玩我唔知啊，唉屌！佢出紅色喎，佢唔係出紫色喎 ，what the fuck？佢出紅色居然係零攻速啊！
紫色嚟㗎。
紫色嚟㗎 ，sorry 啊，我估唔到21分鐘都掂喎。我 out 晒 head 啦。哦，哇亂嚟啊 ！Double dodge。
邊個頭啊？隻中國，係咪隻手啊？我又爭錢殺到佢，頂！我負6啊，唔投啊！拜拜，你受死啦！
哇！隻歌開 game 喎，
開咩 game？
開呢個
Watch
係啊！我成日都想講 Only Watch
啊！試咗好耐啦，呢個。
呢個 get 嗰陣時，我唔記得睇咩啊，睇虛爐石嗰陣時有比賽，
追要追入嚟啊！
贏喎！
啊，買唔買好咧？但真係好貴喎。
咁多個人買咁我
我知啊，但係
買咩啊？你講緊買 Overwatch 啊？
Only Watch 啊，
Only Watch 買咗就唔使 Only Watch 啦，咁就可以一齊 watch 啊！
幾錢啊？而家要
480啦，
人民幣啊定港紙啊？
港紙，
定
人民幣啊6嚿唔夠啦，
480咁撚貴，
係啊！
黐撚咗線。我啊唔會買啦。
但係玩
呢個價格同佢而家遊戲內容唔相符，我係唔會買。
佢啲節奏夠快，我中意。呢隻節奏慢，又俾垃圾我玩。
唔係呢個唔係重點嘅，重點係太少嘢玩啦佢而家。480蚊你講我太貴，我寧願佢出雙城制度咁樣啲玩。
根本冇得打嘅。
太少內容啊 ，Only Watch。
只要羅太嗰人未冧，我都唔會投。
480蚊。
係呢個真係，如果380我買嘅。
如果100蚊我會買咯。
幾多錢啊
80蚊。
80蚊就對啲垃圾機，咁免費都得嘅。
真係完全唔抵喎，我覺得。Oh GG G2 tie with SKT the ring 啊 Daru carry 唔到啊！
周嗰隻牛都有球。
慘啦！呢個 EU 淨係贏到咗外卡。
傻仔。
可惜啊，拉魯。我終於握手啦！下一場係咩啊？RNG。
個勢唔錯，佢贏咗2次 SKT， 緊要時機。
其實係 SKT 唔掂咯，係。
我知士氣好緊要。
有士氣啦，佢哋贏咗SKT 係有士氣啦，但係 SKT 係即係點講 low 即係低咗級啊！喂，大佬 CLG 都贏到喎。
單挑啦，我已經彈咗佢啲 stand 㗎啦。
而家幾點啊？3.3，3.3下午茶啫。整翻個雞髀先。
沒事，我打沒打都唔可以結束。
喂，線路繁忙喎。其實我想知 SKT 點解會贏到 LCK？點解會答佢哋啱啱係 remake 咗喎？佢話 Elise 卡咗喺個塔度，
即係比阿奇恩得啊嘛。
啊？但唔係啊，佢唔係走咗啦咩？
係， 今次真係好頭。Division 出彈咗，仆街！我未用到 Division。冇計啦，都係咁啦。
你唔好用個 VC 啦，我個 VC 我而家成個 T 流喎，破晒啦都已經你用趙子多 VC
係應該5排先用趙子先。
啱啊
3排定冇啊，跟你玩緊。我排完之後要 off 搞事。唔識玩又。
我要食炸髀啊！我屌，食屎！
紅魚都仲有用過佢。唔係佢話邊一個笑咗。
Trick getting himself out. Lamb actually turns around before attacking him. Trick stays alive with lifeline and life grip from his mom Mortius. Nexus is now open. 50 gold up for grabs. It's falling quick. It's falling fast.
Oh, so sad. G2 贏咗啊！唔意外。
個小官佢好似係 SP
嗱，FA 又打 CLG 啊，睇下贏唔贏到 CLG 啊！贏唔到 CLG 嘅話就等拜拜啦。我食個炸髀薯條先。咩啊？喺度啱嘅。
玩緊啦，同歐挺玩緊啦。
喂，唔該個炸髀薯條。
炸髀薯條。
係送天庭2座30多。
天庭間邊度
？30樓多2座。
2座30多，飲乜嘢？
飲凍檸茶。
要凍檸茶，好。
唔該。
越
Overwatch 玩下 Overwatch 咯， 佢哋琴日有語音㗎，我記得好好。
有咩啊？
我有更新咧，更新啲咩啊？好貴喎，有冇買啊？劉邦冇啊嘛？你會唔會買先啊？我覺得爐石呢啲 game 就差唔多啦，可以唔課金，可以課金咁你選擇。
係啊，佢 number 如果輸緊晒就唔好玩啦，仲要殺，幾冇意思。見親打嘅都冇得輸嘅，屌！做咩做？有咩咁中意咁垃圾嘅輸？
入到啦，入咗佢嗰場。
唉，玩唔撚。
啊 ，Victory 入到去即刻贏撚咗，我度噃。
1900台幣。唔知480嘅，430最後冇。
Welcome back to the Mid-Season Invitational. Right now, Royal Never Give Up and the Flash Wolves are loading onto stage for our second game of the day. And gentlemen, looking at this matchup, I mean, this is possibly a preview of the finals when you just look at the way that this tournament has going and both these teams have been playing up to this point.
Yeah, both these guys are playing really well. And when Flash Wolves lost to COG, it was on a 5th Dragon Steel. They had a massive lead in this game, so there is a good chance this could be actually a 6-0 team versus a 5-1 team. And
right.
I really can't wait for the rematch.
Well, looking at the way that this matchup turned out last time, RNG got the better of Flash Wolves. So looking ahead, what will Flash Wolves have to learn from that matchup?
Well, I think the first thing they learn is that Twitch Kindred is like really
今時
insufferable
仔或
to
者
play
上我
against, so you
教咗
cannot
字。
kill the Twitch, so you have to get rid of one part of that combination. I think that Wushin has also got a very deep champion pool in the AD carry position, and they learned that they can't really expect NL to go toe-to-toe with the guy because he just seems to be outperforming.
I think that's the biggest mismatch in this matchup, and you want to try and equalize that a little bit. I think NL will try and prioritize Ezreal and just kind of do his thing. And the big thing is about securing a good mid lane matchup so Maple can shine over Xiaohu. I think that's where Flash Wolves could get their advantage.
Right, and that's where we might see mid lane bans coming in. Azir is one I'm looking at for both teams, honestly. The problem is,
So good.
yeah, both of them can play really well. They also play LeBlanc, they play Ryze. I mean, they have all the same champions in this current meta here. The problem is with Flash Wolves being on red side, potentially they can have that last pick mid lane, meaning you don't want to risk like an Azir being the last pick, so you don't get an option to counter pick it. I can't see it being bad by RNG on blue side for sure.
Yeah, I definitely can't see that. I also think that Maple had a
Hey,
strong
Case,
matchup
I mean,
last time
we'll
these
go
guys
there.
played. However, it wasn't the 1v1 that made a difference because they just didn't play out the actual structure of the game in a very cohesive format. I mean, they should never have ever. They should never have gone near Dragon Pit. Like, as soon as they got the first one, they like had delayed the game long enough that Pit Dragon wasn't going to be an
They
issue.
knew that game is in the past
Yeah.
for them. They're
Yeah.
like, we messed up. We were stuck playing competition. We actually can't execute.
So that's what I was going to say. I actually don't know if he wants a strong late match. I think he just wants something that if it does go late, he can win the game for Flash Wolves. That's really important to me. Get him back on something that can pretty much solo 1v9.
Yeah, and Zed wasn't that champion. I think Long could be that champion. Azir could be that champion. Even a Gangplank could be that champion, but that's not a strong laning matchup either. So I'm not entirely sure what Flash Wolves to do. The one thing I don't want them to do is go with another 1-3 competition. I want them to have a team.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one of the interesting things in this matchup is when you look at the gold leads that these teams hold at different, time marks within the game. So Flash Wolves, for them, especially in that game they had yesterday, dominating at least in terms of gold lead for a period of time, but
And then team fights.
and then boom, team fights started happening. It's like Flash Wolves ran directly into a brick wall.
Yeah, again, they drafted a composition that had absolutely no chance of winning a fight. No matter which team played almost, at this tournament against each other when you have Kindred, Rise, Twitch against a Zed. Like, you can't do anything. So expected once they got into team fights, they would start losing. That's why, again, we criticize the game so much. But the Flash Wolves team we have seen do really well is always when they seem to have compositions with strong late games in here, and then they can play around Sword Art setting up fights. Like, this man is insane, because not only is he the man engaging, he's also the guy setting up the vision beforehand, so you can teleport him. He hides in the jungle for like a minute, waiting for someone to overextend, and then he moves in behind them and engages. So Alistar, of course, is a massive hit for both him and Mata, which is why I can't see it go through. Like, Flash Wolves will have to ban it so you don't first pick it on the side.
Flash Wolves banned it on blue side in their in that last game that they played.
Yeah, and I think that is a big key difference between these two teams. Flash Wolves can team fight, but they need to set up time. They really do need to get Sword Art behind enemy lines. They need to set up double teleport, or at least get the flank with MMD, where it looks like right now RNG just want to fight all the time. Like, they'll always have enough scrappy vision, and they'll be able to pull you apart enough within the team fight to just get it in an advantageous situation, regardless of picks or whatever they're trying to do around the map.
I think regardless to say, both these teams have impressed us in the late game, so as long as they get there and have the compositions to support it, then we definitely are in for an interesting game. That can come down to, you know, that 50-minute one-team fight that results in the base getting taken.
That's what I'm hoping to see right here. I'm hoping to see a very competitive early game, which we'd expect from RNG, since they actually are behind on average in the early game. And then you say they kind of get these scrappy wards down, but they have higher warding stats than any other team here at MSI, which is a little crazy. It happens a bit because of the longer games, but they need that type of vision to get there.
Well, as we send it over to Rib and Crepo for the game, Sword Art tells us how there's a lot to learn here from the Invitational.
What the fuck？
我觉得从这些其他队伍中，我们可以学到很多，就是阵容的多样性。因为有些角色是我们不太去玩的，但是对防火有，而且拿出来的效果也很不错。所以其实我们可以尝试更多的英雄，可能会让我们队伍变更强。
I have to agree, it's one of my favorite things about a tournament is that it can breathe life into a completely different thing you haven't seen for the entire split.
Yeah, different just metas clashing here and seeing what comes out on top. Always very fascinating, so I can't wait to get into this game.
We're about to. Let's check out the starting lineups. Get right into it. Just for you, Crepo. The roster rundown for China's LPL. Royal Never Give Up is Looper in the top lane, MLXG in the jungle, Xiaohu in mid making plays, Woosh at 80 carry, and Mata at support.
Yeah, Mata just coming back here, or Mata as he wants to be called here,
with good old
leading the charge. Such a good vision-based support overall, also playing very well. They're going up against the Flash Wolves here. Top lane MMD. No longer stake anymore. He moved to a Goshi position. Jungle will be Karsa. Mid lane Maple, NL and Sword Art are a good bot lane, but they will need to hold their own because Woosh will not let them rest.
Nope, this is going to be an absolute nail-biter. Once again, hometown favorites owning the Rift as they go into this. Royal Never Give Up is going to have the crowd behind them so much. Even Flash Wolves is in this game. It is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be loudy, rowdy, crowdy.
Yeah, this may be a preview of a potential final as well. We need to start
absolutely, that's
that,
a good point.
Completely against expectations here because SKT dropping the ball, G2 dropping the ball, and Flash Wolves confirming what analysts out there were always thinking. Clement always spoke very high of them too. Like, they play a solid style League of Legends, and Maple has been one of the stars of this tournament.
Maple, Xiaohu, both of those guys in the mid lane. Still, I want to see this GP come back. Like, solely that GP, just I was like, this is great League of Legends play to watch. I feel bad that they lost that game, but just seeing that style of play, you know you're at the mid-season invitational, the #1 seed from Big 5 regions, and it's absolutely game after game after game that we see it, and it's going to happen again here. Royal Never Give Up versus Flash Wolves. Champion select's about to happen, so we get to see just what champions they're going to do that with. Ezreal on the ban, Twitch as well. And you got to remember that composition of the Kindred Twitch.
Yeah, RNG, yesterday they banned Azir and Maokai. They basically said, Flash Wolves, you guys are going to play an early game composition, then we're going to remove some of the scaling components and then pick a big scaler ourselves in the Rise and the Kindred early. Now they only have one first pick here. And they do like their Kindred, and they take on one of the stronger top laners out here. Echo on Flash Wolves. Yeah, 280 carry bans, Twitch and Sivir.
Delusion, do it.
Bây giờ食下午茶。
I mean, Luke can play plenty of things here. Yeah. Just think that Flash Wolves as a team don't seem ready for face. Overall, I have to respect that champion because it allows them to buy so much time. And if there's one team that you don't want to give time in team fights, it is RNG. But with all these bans, it leaves open Matas Alistar. And do you really want to do that?
No.
Sword Art, fantastic Alistar player himself, so he knows how strong that champion is.
你講緊咩啊？
Fight against it. Literally, that's what that tells us. We are okay with Mata getting his best in
你講行啊？
We'll see if they're right. Carson now to the side of the
抵嘛？
Flash Wolves lock in.
It's where we have to question the draft
或
overall.
者咁耐未背呢個
Flash
地
Wolves
址，
because the
即係
Kindred
集。
Twitch combo is incredibly strong.
我都唔知啊。
But
But you take it apart, right, with one ban.
Take one out, not both here.
係啊，我都冇得
Alistar
玩，
has to be
佢哋
solid
冇
and
人
isolated
搞
of。those picks here. They do trade it for one of the S
喺
tier
佢哋對唔對先正
champions
去表達。
in their roles, and that is,
都入唔撚
that
到
is
對
obviously
面
this
台，
Maokai
入
here.
得 party 喎。
And Graves has moved, from my opinion, from the third place
哇！
in the jungle all the way
好
to
熱
second.
辣辣啊！
Just slightly just
介
under
紹啲
Kindred
先。
here. So Flash Wolves, while they sacrifice the Alistar, they get a good deal here though. They trade very well. And RNG now have an option to pick up an early Azir. So we see a lot of blue teams do.
You don't say.
Second rotation, just go like, you know what? Counter pick, I don't really believe in that. I just have a strong champion here. What's the name of the game? Team fighting? Yeah, I'll lock in this Azir.
MLXG saying, yeah, I'll take that for you. You don't even have to pick your own champion. I'll deliver it. Yeah, Xiao Wu feeling very comfortable right now.
They may just wait on a rotation though.
中國嚟嘅中國
They。may. With all those 80 carries as well, Lucian's going to be picked up on the other side. That leaves NL up for his Ezreal. Callista still had that play. Haven't seen too much Callista though in this tournament.
睇你個招呼揀咩啫？會唔會揀 A 下
Seeing
期？
the Graves, knowing they're going to have to go toe-to-toe at some point with that composition. And that composition can get very big throughout the game. So we figure what they would have gone with. Still the Azir and the Lucian.
No, I like the pickup because Jahu,
我
not
覺
only
得
is
Ben
Azir
到
just
下
a
期
good。pick in general, he's also just a fantastic Azir player overall. If you go back and watch the playoffs, he had some really good individual plays that then led to one team fights. And RNG, not only do they seem to communicate well and are on the same page, they always have at least one member that stands out.
落啲熱。
And you can already, for this tournament, imagine
What's
some of the
the
plays that
goal?
Jahu has made. Matas Alistar, some of the combos he's had. So they have already, with just 3 picks, 3 comfort picks,
Yeah,
they're already sending
That's
sending a clear message to Flash Wolves. This will not be an easy game.
Already terrifying to see Azir and an Alistar. That guarantees that if somebody gets knocked up, you're going to get shuffled in one direction. Wherever Xiao wants you to go, focused by the team. Picks here now to come in again for the LMS's side. Flash Wolves seeing now the Lucian and the Azir. I figure Caitlyn actually might be something that NL goes to.
No.
He can play very safe on that champion. And Maple's gonna take the rise.
Yeah, no more silly 1-3-1 shenanigans. This will be a big team fight. Although if the Rise runs teleport, yeah, you can still 1-3-1. But the goal is still that team fight that comes out. Flash Wolves, they aren't quite sure what to pick here, so they go for the Caitlyn. Caitlyn has a range advantage with Lucian in lane. With a melee support, they can still fill in the blanks later for Sword Art. Do they go for the Tahm Kench? There's a lot of focus and follow-up. Perhaps something ranged oriented. You can even lock in a Bard here if you're a ranged support player. A Janna too. Like they have a lot of tools right now to kind of make Jazu's life miserable. Because if they just connect MMD on a flank, he gets to him. You can actually just one-shot him altogether because there's no really big resets on this fight here.
I actually really like the choice of that Bard. Once one person's locked down on the side of LMS, you're getting trapped, you're getting twisted, advanced, room prisoned. And having that all started off by a Tempered Fate, it'd be very easy to walk up and finish.
I mean, it's one hypothetical here. Plenty of support makes it work.
There's so many. Still the Janna up as well.
Yeah, there's just a triple hybrid frontline. You have the Maokai that's a super tank, and both Rise and Graves are a little bit tanky overall. So if you can enable them, with a Morgana, for example, too, just a lot of pick chances. You can throw up Mighty, see what sticks, and then follow up here. You have the Black Shield too, to avoid like really big sweeps.
嗱，佢有個 Overwatch cutback，
And he
呢個
draws
係
the
無敵嘅。
Morgana. It's going to be the
咁就
lock-in.
得
We
個
now see the compositions for both teams. Very interesting for Sword Out to go back to on that. It's Alistar, Braum, and Thresh for him this tournament. We've seen the Morganas come in, but only every so often.
Yeah, and on paper, this means RNG should look for a lane swap because that's a rough lane to play. I think Wush and Mata are skilled enough to go in even CS though, but the burden of the play because it's a very easy laning pattern for Caitlyn Morgana. It can shove, but the weakness to shoving is obviously a gank or a surprise Alistar, but with good reactions on Black Shield, that becomes a lot harder to pull off.
Double teleport. Once again, we see Xiaohu taking the cleanse.
to Looper's TP. And really, on the side of Royal, Looper's maybe just the only guy who needs the TP. They've been on point. He's creating, starting, and finishing plays for the team. He's had a great tournament. And it looks like Royal's going to try to go undefeated once again here against the Flash Wolves. It's going to be a very tough matchup, but the Flash Wolves are looking to get revenge. It's going to be tough when Royal already owns the stage.
Yeah. 1-3-1 versus 4-1. Clash of styles. Flash Wolves have shown that they are not the best at 1-3-1. It also was their downfall yesterday. They played with an assassin in the mid lane though, so it's a different flavor.
Yeah.
But they needed that Zed on the side lane. They didn't get him there. Now they have the Rise. They can also opt into a 4-1 themselves. Be like, you know what, this is a little hard for us. Yeah. Maybe they'll do that. We need to see how they make use of that teleport on Maple.
Well, now you got to look at the comms. Head over to Twitter. Who do you think will be victorious? Hashtag RNG win.
Or hashtag FW win.
That's right. Right now, I'm sure the RNG votes are going to be coming in. You can see they own the Rift. See if they can own it as they jump on. RNG versus Flash Wolves are into our second game of the day. The Mid-Season Invitational has been an absolutely amazing tournament, and it's only going to provide more here. Now the barn burner of RNG versus Flash Wolves. Let's get into it.
Yeah, and that Ignite from Mata is indicative that they're actually probably just going to take the lane and look for the outplay. There are ways to go around the Black Shield. Trading cooldowns is a concept that's very important. Black Shield, obviously, defensive spell generally have longer cooldowns. Mata, Jutsu Binding, 1-0. But yeah, that means that there's all-in potential, and they just want standard lane. Otherwise, he would have opted into the exhaust for Maple.
Looking at how this game played out last time, Flash Wolves actually had a pretty good start. As they have had some most games. They have 2,000 gold leads here and there. Royal, however, we saw that once they see they're in that deficit, they'll actually be able to stall a gold lead out for quite a while. Find your error, which Flash Wolves' error was using too many resources on a gank for Looper. Looper lived, and that's all you need for RNG to take control of the map.
All right, let's see here. The blind swap here from RNG, so they are looking to dodge that matchup. NL and Sword Art, they were hesitating. It's like, yeah, will they go top?
Wow, smite điểm tè, smite.
Wrong answer.
Wow.
But this means that Flash Wolves can play another lane swap, and yesterday they had a really quick, smooth
Oh,
lane swap
where
they used their tempo advantage to gank mid. So we need to see if Jahu is ready for that, because yesterday we had the Thresh flashing in on Jahu's Rise. And that got them a kill. I believe even first blood. And that kind of snowballed Flash Wolves ahead, and that's why we saw the gold graph on the analyst desk, you know, 2,500, nearly 3,000 gold in the early game, 10-15 minutes into the game.
And it almost becomes scarier here when you have Morgana, because that's more of a, I can do this from the fog of war. Thresh doesn't have to show, and that roam could be quite quick. Now that we do have that lane swap coming out, it is going to be RNG to the top side. Flash Wolves staying with the bottom. Karsa farming up on Graves versus MLXG's Nidalee. MLXG himself has been an absolute, like, pressure point for any jungler in this tournament. It's very hard to get around his pathing or stay away from him when he's pathing for you.
MLXG is just a super strong jungler. Does a little bit of random stuff sometimes, but he makes it work. Right now we see both top laners.
Gotta be spicy, right? It's in his name.
Spicy Hoppa. Leave their lanes. Top laners usually join the junglers for a little bit, but obviously Flash Wolves, they value tempo here. Want to get your top laner as soon as you can to that enemy turret, so you can start pushing. Looper picks up some experience on the way because he denied just a little bit more. And this is where you start judging the lane swap. How well are they tanking the creeps in front of the tower, letting them hit it? How quick are they taking the tower down? It looks like both teams have watched plenty of VODs.
Whoosh farming a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit later for that lane, but here we see in mid, 8-12 already. Maple trying to kind of step two and show Xiaohu some aggression, but he says, yeah, let's take it, let's dance.
That's a standard laning pattern in the Rise versus a Azir matchup. There's a lot of creeps left in that minion wave though, so if Maple CS as well on the tower, they can do it. There's no lane war here just yet for RNG. Usually once you lane swap, you place that ward. I think that's exactly what MMD is doing it. So that ward is very important. So this ward decides when you push out. You always freeze in the lane swap. Because otherwise there are scenarios where you can get punished very hard. Let's not go into that too much. The laning pattern right now is he waits until he sees the enemy bot lane approach. Once he spots Lucian or the support, that's when MMD needs to clear out these minion waves as fast as he can and swap back. If he just blind pushes, there is a realm where Looper walks up and takes that farm and freezes the lane, and then suddenly you find yourself very far behind. That's why you always wait.
As well, the ward's up here as well for her.
Yeah. MMD actually started a little early. This is greedy, so he gets it. He gets the CS, but look at it. He started pushing before Bush kind of showed up. Maybe because they still spotted Looper in the top lane. They had some vision on him. That kind of prompted it, probably. We've seen teams actually take that wave, freeze it, and hand it off to their top laner, but it costs so much tempo. So we're seeing just a mirror here. But it's Flash Wolves again a little bit ahead, and the value of that goes towards the top laner. He's the one with the most CS. So if you're gauging a lane swap, without watching a turret, just watch a top laner CS, and that gives you a good metric of who's ahead in the lane swap tempo-wise.
So what options are we seeing Flash Wolves? Obviously we're at 4 minutes here, but is this a 6 minute? They want to try something with the teleports, or will we see them start scaling up against the squad?
Generally in this lane swap, it's a very, especially in Europe, it's a very dull. I find it fascinating.
即係每日一午茶。
But the lane swap itself, it's a swap now, so they go to the buff tier once. And again, tank the minions in front of the tower. Don't let them hit it. Everybody hits the tower here. It's just borderline efficiency. Spells on minions, attacks on towers. And then we'll see the support and the jungler move to the Rift Herald here. 80 carry base, catch the next wave, or look to swap around. And then they use the Rift Herald on the bottom enemy tier 2 here. So that's the goal for RNG. That's actually a play that Fnatic made against them at IEM, where they didn't realize it. Let's see if they've adopted that strategy. Take to the Herald and go for tier 2 bot.
So as these things are going quite even, here's an odd question. If everything goes even throughout this, who actually comes out on top? Who is actually the better off team at even?
The team that picks up the Herald and gets a little advantage, because they traded for a Dragon, which isn't really worth much. But in this tournament, in this meta game, Dragons have actually started to become worth more and more and more. Actually, here for going the Herald, so they're not going for the Herald play. They value quicker paces here, quicker pacing, and RNG just pick up the Dragon instead. I mean, Flash Wolves don't go for the.
Right, Flash Wolves have backed and actually sending down towards bot lane. Now we have to go pretty far out to clear this. Flash Wolves instead of taking Herald, check to see Dragon dying.
Yep, I got so confused with RNG being the red team on blue side. These regional colors threw me off. But yeah.
I did it with Warning earlier.
Especially when they're all swapping around the map, making poor old Crepo a little confused.
Well, now it seems like Flash Wolves is living on the blue side here. They're going to be heading out. Karsa makes his way back around, and he's going to leave RNG's side of the map here. They're not leaving too early, though. They're making sure they got some wards.
So that's Flash Wolves not going for the Herald to stop the potential Dragon, but they arrive too late.
So
he's
still there.
That's actually a net gain here for RNG overall. Not only to get their favorite style, which is very early Dragon, they also tier 2 in the bot lane like they did against Fnatic. So good start for them.
Yep. So not the, he kind of thought he was still there. They said, give me pressure, but a ward placed by Sword Art, meaning they kind of want to go hard on this bottom tier turret. RNG is going to notice this pressure. They're going to take the Rift Herald this time. So objective favor here for RNG.
Yeah.
If Flash Wolves can't get second tier.
MMD wants to thin out this top wave as well as he can, because they're gonna boost that top wave with the Herald buff, hopefully to trade towers here.
Oh, there's a third.
Because that's exactly what they want to avoid here, just losing a free turret. They're swapping all the way to the top side of the map. They have their teleport
when you have Rift Herald, Crepo.
Yeah, they need to dive him. MMD took so much smoke trying to clear out that wave, so it looks like an even trade here. Overall, so interesting lane swap.
Slowly stacking up. This is Karsa, obviously not a fast farmer as MLXG. He's 10 CS up. Almost every lane is here for RNG as they grab the objectives and turrets now.
Yeah, and the lane doesn't get bounced here because they value tempo, but look at Looper CS here. He's getting the short end of the stick.
He got to pick.
He was trailing everything, and that's the downside of being behind in tempo in the swap here. You're the guy that gets to clean up the rest of the big meal, you know, the leftovers. That's Looper right now. He gets like gradual 4 CS here, couple here, and MMD, because he's the one in the driving seat, he's at 32 CS.
Even in the bot lane, you can see it's already thinning out before Looper can even reach it. Just giving the breadcrumbs all over the place this game. Where do they decide to go from here? Definitely Ping's going over onto the blue just to set up breather moment. RNG has done quite a bit of work as well as Flash Wolves, but we haven't seen them match up yet. Their gentleman's agreement kind of just around the map, warding up, but the vision is also stopping the kills.
Yeah, it's more of a best play than an agreement, because I'm sure RNG...
That's a good point. That's a good one.
Don't really agree to let MMD have 20 extra CS. Like, no. Please, I insist. But Flash Wolves did play that lane swap pretty well, and RNG got value in objectives. They pay off later. We need to see if Looper can get back into the game, because he is the main engaged, especially on that Poppy. Fantastic Poppy player overall. Week 1, Week 2 of the LPL, he started playing it already. And RNG had a very, very skirmish-heavy compositions all the time. Very fun to watch.
We're still waiting for the TPs. Those really have not taken off yet this game. We're just getting level 6, 7s, 8s around. Everybody's doing level content. Supports at 4. Maybe kind of putting a wall on some things here before engaging.
Look at what NL is doing here. So usually pushing is always the right answer because he gets siege on. But he throws the wave, and he's now handing it over to MMD. So what Flash Wolves is telling a story is that we really value our top lane being hit. And they want to defend the 3-man in the bottom lane here. If RNG can push through, they can punish here, but it looks like the defense should be doable with Black Shield and the Graves Caitlyn here. And a good sidestep here. Black Shield is applied as well. So this is good for Flash Wolves here. They're out macroing RNG despite the gold loss. Gold lead overall 600 gold on RNG, but the position on the map.
That top wave right now is gigantic. 3.5 waves built up.
The risk is the mid lane tower though, because that's very hard to defend. So they need to see if they can channel their forces over there, because freezing on 2 lanes at once, what they're doing right now, may cost them a mid lane turret. And that's when RNG is going to pull ahead again, so... Greed.
They almost have enough time to go use that, as you were saying. A big hit, the Arcane Smash there from MMD to clear out the wave to say, all right, I get it. I've been here too long.
RNG is tired. He's like, MMD, you're freezing a little bit too much here, man. We want to help out Looper, so let's push in this wave. Let's take the towers later on. And they're just dancing around, and again, super slow on the side of NL. Like, this wave could have been pushed out already 30 seconds ago. He's taking his sweet time. He's like, oh, there's another wave coming. I guess
I gotta make sure I get all my calls, man.
Yep.
Gotta feed it.
But it comes at the cost of playing the map 4v5 here. Look, teleport. Look from where he's teleporting from tier 1 to tier 2. That's like the Billy Boss teleport.
It's about sending a message, Repo. About sending a message. 500 gold in the lead for RNG. 1 minute onto Dragon. See a few wards getting placed in that area, but RNG already pink wards down there. Wards into the base, or I'm sorry, jungle of Flash Wolves. They pretty much know when everything is going on when it happens.
Yeah, but they're timing this wave with the Dragon, it seems like. So they want to push it out here, and then when the base jumps. So he's ready to teleport. We may see a big fight around the second Dragon, because RNG put a high preference on it. Flash Wolves, they prioritized Dragon yesterday to their demise. Carson tunneled very hard to steal it. And Flash Wolves as a team had like a plan of also fighting. So not only did they try to steal, they fought at the same time. They lost horribly. 2 kills, 1 Dragon, and then the next Dragon was a clean ace, I believe, or at least 4 kills. And that was it. That was game over. So Flash Wolves need to see if their Dragon decision making has improved.
So a blast down the mid lane. Maple wants to clear that out. The team pings over. Let's set up a wall so Dragon is way too hard to grab. Clearing this pink ward obviously alerts RNG to the process of Flash Wolves. It's actually a pretty good game. Mata's pretty far away for this, and top lane is just poking each other wet noodle fight status.
Yeah.
But the teleports are both up, and they can both stop each other.
Yeah, minion waves obviously very important when you're trying to whoever's pushing out more. Like vision on the map makes it a lot easier. We see Lucian prioritizes pushing the bottom. We see NL react. But now they have the control at the wards. But Vixargy, stronger poke. They control it right now, but we'll see a teleport flank here pretty soon from the Maokai. RNG, they don't wait for that.
Bobby coming in to the right. Looper will be here in just a second. A flash over the wall. Mata stays alive with a triumphant roar.
And it looks like Looper and Xiaohu now partying it up on the side of the map that the rest of the team wishes they were on for the kills. Dragon's going to be RNG's.
Yeah, that's the difference here in terms of planning. If Flash was okay, we're going to do this, and then you'll teleport in. Let's look for a ward. And while they're discussing their game plan, RNG just completely wrecks them. It's like, okay, guys, let's go in Leroy style. Take one down, take the Dragon. It's time. By the time Flash will finish their plan, the Dragon's already gone. And now RNG is ahead. Looking to capitalize even more. So that's the beauty of their play. They don't wait for you to plan out your plays. They just take you down. Look at him out here. Instant engage. Doesn't care about Mr. Black Shield. Everybody follows up.
Doesn't care about level 6 either. Nope. Wow. Goes in strong, keeps himself alive. And the mid turret waiting to be picked up here. Still level 5 on that Alistar. And left up by Flash Wolves with a heavy focus on Woosh with 280 carries and that Kindred. An interesting choice for their picks and mans here. It hasn't really hurt him too much, but definitely didn't help in that engage that they couldn't have anything better for him. 1-0, 14 minutes in. RNG is going to actually start denying resources from Flash Wolves here right under their nose.
Yeah, that's RNG. They Flash Wolves had a very top-heavy approach. Like, okay, let's snowball this matchup. terms of CS. They play their minion waves very small, but RNG, when they group, it doesn't matter who has the resources, because everybody is individually strong enough to make the play. If Looper is weaker, he'll be more utility, and other laners will step up and carry for him. When he's strong, he can solo carry games too. That's the beauty of it, and they always do it in group team fights. Led, spearheaded by Mata. That combo right there. Many supports will just wait, go for the poke. It's like, okay, we have the zone control, but then walk into us and punish. Mata doesn't care about that. He just goes in.
Oh, Burr's the word. Oh, and Burr's Divide just misses. Rune Prison is forced to be cleansed off there. Actually, very good timing on spells from either side. Yeah, the Shurima Shuffle, Shurima Shuffle, almost a shuffle. Allows him to get out alive.
Xiaohu with an uncharacteristic mistake here. Not really used to seeing that. Missing an ulti.
Good for Flash Wolves to get that back. Same thing happened from RNG, so they are not just kind of bowing out of these situations. You get one, we'll take it as well. 2 Dragons Harbor in favor of RNG does start to be a worry if they can fight in their favor. And it's something we've seen Flash Wolf kind of take even more, is wanting to fight at Dragon. No, they almost can't.
And this is where we might see Flash Wolves lose a little bit of pressure on the map here with that mid lane tower.
Okay.
But then be able to farm 3 lanes instead of 2. A 4-1 composition very often is only farming 2 lanes, while the 1-3-1 will be getting gold on all 3. You see Rise step in though, no more farming, no more flanking with teleport, just straight up walk into the mid lane to try and help here. So RNG, despite playing against a 1-3-1, is forcing their enemy to match that 4-1. Rise could be bottom right now, still pushing. So look, Maple just lost about 30 seconds of decision making, because he's like indecisiveness. It's like, what do I do, guys? Do you need me? Yes, no? Can you tell me? Can I farm? Can I push?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you need to avoid, because when you play 1-3-1, you need to predict what's going to happen. You need to look at the screen like, in the next minute, they are going to do this.
Right.
We'll answer with this, or I should have never even been here. And that is the difference. And that's still what Flash Wolves are working on. And obviously, when you don't get challenged as hard in the LMS, you get away with things, you never get punished. But RNG is almost one of the best teams in the world right now when it comes to punishing windows of opportunity.
Right now, a 3,000 gold lead. We mentioned in the beginning, that's actually how they got back on Flash Wolves last time. Flash Wolves focused so much. 3-4 members just onto Looper. Looper, great at living in those situations. What does RNG do? Take mid, put resources in the jungle and vision, and continue to escalate that into a victory. Here, Flash Wolves has kind of been very safe in those engagements. They haven't thrown themselves too far forward, but they're also playing from behind, playing reactively. So very slow movements here as they start to get that vision and try to make these kills possible.
Yeah, look at Mana is isolating bot tier 2, while Flash Wolves rather are looking for the top tier here. Deep vision in each jungle. Azir can fend for himself a lot easier because he can pop the turret and 1v2. So there's double pressure here for RNG. Single lane pressure for Flash Wolves. And that's why we'll probably see Flash Wolves base here because they're behind on the play. You can't afford to go. Game state is where it's at right now. NL gets booted out too, so this is really big here for RNG.
Very nicely done. Xiaohu putting up the Sun Disc actually outside, so RNG has a base on the side of Flash Wolves now. They may be able to fight under this. It looks like Looper is actually going to start waltzing over while clearing some waves. They're kind of take a breather on this one.
Yeah, cheeky little black shield there on the Maokai. They were ready to punish him, and then he comes out looking all blue.
Not this time.
Not this time, but they lose 1 turret in bot lane for nothing. They lose 3/4 of their mid lane turret, and they have to use a TP here. So Flash Wolves, they're not reading the game. They're reacting to what RNG is doing. And a 1-3-1 team versus 4-1 should be in the driving seat. It's going to get very rough here. We have to give props to RNG though. They're playing phenomenally well.
Yeah, I was just going to say to Looper himself as well, closing that CS gap, making sure he's in the right place at the right time. Well, Flash Wolves has been prioritizing huge waves to MMD. Still able for Looper to come back here. Doesn't have his distortion boots yet. They would like those for the more plays. MMD is looking to get himself down and dirty quite soon. Looks like he's going to get what he asked for. Teleport just behind him as well. That's going to be Looper. And the 2v1 just for fun is about to start.
Maple's coming in.
Ding, here comes another challenger. It is going to be the teleport coming in from Maple. MMD says, you got this fight for now until the rest of the team comes. And it is going to be a 4v1 now as they turn it. Quick rotations from RNG, seeing the possibilities in the bot lane. And 20 minutes in, whoa!
MMD flashes forward, vengeful maelstrom pop, and he is able to get a kill for himself onto Whoosh. The fight's gonna continue as they push down the lane. 18 minutes in, this is the moment that RNG was able to just take hold of the last game. And once again, they bite down on Flash Wolves.
Slow reaction by the Flash Wolves here. RNG initiating the play. Make one, pick off, make it two, make it three. MLXC ends that play with a triple kill. And everybody's on the same page here for the Chinese squad here in Shanghai. The crowd is going wild, and they're playing fantastic League of Legends. Look at here. MMD singled out, teleports already. Lure's already there, and Maple is just teleporting in. MMD starts his fight on 20%. Whoosh is so lucky to survive on a sliver of health here. Mata comes in, Dopa finding lands. At this point, the fight is already over. Xiaohu is 1v2 now. Look, he goes over the wall. He does a really sick shuffle. You couldn't see it on your screen, but he shuffles all the way from the pink board in the river over with the QE combo to then get the access to the fantastic play here from Xiaohu too.
佢輸尋日啊，輸俾外卡嘅話，咁外卡係嗰啲
Carson, you saw the collateral damage come to a wall. That may not have been a shot he's ever taken before, because the damage doesn't.
SKT 同 G2 而家排第4，外卡第6。
如果尋日你輸俾同佢打咗對外卡唔知 G2 啊嘛，你嗰場輸咗俾 G2，咁 SKT 仲撲㗎。
Yeah, because RNG just leave you no time to think. Usually you have about 5 seconds to figure out how a play's going to go, and then you use that time to make a calculated decision. You make that decision. RNG gives you a second.
SKT 要今日贏晒先追和閃電狼。
Cleaning up the HP bars for last hits, but there was mostly damage there for him.
即係閃電狼都要輸晒啦，當然。
Doubling some of the damages there on the Flash Wolves.
Yeah, and this is where Flash Wolves
SKT 等下打 CLG 好關鍵。
Or they gave a map control benefit for freezes and accelerating certain members of their team, mainly MMD on that Maokai. But that means
應該 Royal 就應該贏硬㗎啦，即係應該 Royal 就小組第一個小組第一，即係睇2-3係而家睇下邊個第4啫，睇下 CLG 第4定係 SKT 第4啊！你睇啱啱即係陣間嗰場 SKT 打 CLG 就關鍵。 但係如果閃電狼今日輸晒嘅話咧 ，SKT 即係佢哋打即係點講啊？就呢3隊爭第4咯。LMS、G2、SKT、CLG， 其實個個都唔想對 RNG 淘汰個 round。
80%
哦，輸咗啦！但係俾人 out rotate 閃電狼嗰個1-3-1打法打唔到。唔應該俾，應該唔應該擺隻牛出嚟。擺隻牛出嚟同埋海特林真係冇撚用。呢兩隻海特林。
我 L 成日俾人話冇。佢嗰隻海，佢而家根本就廢添咯！而家隻海特林0輸7咯。 根本打唔贏。
And this went quick, because we started talking how RNG had a small goal lead, but the waves were in favorable positions, but the towers were exploding up everything. And RNG then took those towers down and they punished Flash Wolves for a very greedy approach to the lane swap, despite Flash Wolves having momentum. It all started again for goal lead. Stop the dragon. RNG could do that anyway. And then they started freezing these lanes, but suddenly 10 minutes later, you're looking at a 7,000 gold lead. 68 of that, or whatever it is the grump right now.
找啊，對面呢 DC 多佢成1000蚊多。
It's actually, yeah, phenomenal how quick this went. They make it look easy. It's like you're watching a game. Okay, yeah, this guy, yeah, he's getting.
哇！但係中路嘅裝備相差3000蚊。
But they're playing against a world.
但係經濟差1600蚊。
The first one in their region dominated.
喺度都打。
哇！成萬蚊多。 卡薩同埋阿拉山哥爭3000蚊，
隻 GP 冇用，有少隻煩，
條路都輸喎，條爛聲，高 value。
And forget about that. It's at 7,000 right now. What will they decide to do next? Really, the inhibitor in the mid is open, but they can toy right now with the fact of a Baron being baited. Summer blowing a teleport, getting something they want before they end.
Who's going to stop RNG in this tournament? Will SK that's on back?
Very good question.
Oh, well, we need some good old fate. See that happen.
With their win, the confidence might be there. Project Gaming coming back a little bit in it as well, but seeing teams like SKT as well fall for it tournaments like this.
Mata is angry. This game should have been over already.
He's getting angry. It's definitely concerning. Shows you that even the best can make mistakes, and it's hard to come back from those mistakes. Right now, RNG is failing to make mistakes.
See, the ultimate BM. It's like you see this flash, I don't need it.
我覺得 RNG 係贏麻辣生鍋。
Little mistake here. That happens when you
Hindi
go,
taga
when you
rin
look for plays at the edge of your reach and even a little farther. Then sometimes somebody will step out. You're matching W very often. Even Mata makes that mistake. William Soul could be happy. That just shows you, aside from how like that was an error, it just shows his mentality. He's constantly on the lookout for like this guy. He's dead, and he knows his team will follow up. Because if you do that in an uncontrolled environment, the guy will just walk away.
That's going to be out by Baron. A quick walk down. Mata is the one to engage once again. They're going to try to go on to him. Xiaohu coming from the backside. Do they decide to go in? They are getting routed as well by Sword Art. He would have been able to box somebody coming in the caboose there. So they back off. Mata goes down. And RNG find themselves in a tight spot here.
Good punish from Flash Wolf. They noticed the Flash was down. It's very hard not to notice. Into teleport. They go for a fight here because gold deficit. They need a numbers advantage. But RNG look very comfortable fighting it. Look at the zone control. Soldier spears are going in.
NL right next to it. MMD and Karsa get pushed off. They're able to focus down onto Whoosh, but then they're back onto NL and Sword Art. The bot lane is down and the DPS has been deleted now for Flash Wolves. A double kill coming in for Xiaohu. He's going to look for another one. Zoper will pick that up. It does not mark MMD, but I don't think MLSG is going to give up on this one.
Spicy Hotpot never gives up. And he's going to be going
power there.
This one.
That's an inhibitor going down. Bot lane, minion wave in place for RNG to get even more. Do they even need to go for it? They may just pull another minion wave here, as the middle one won't be good enough for two Nexus turrets.
Two inhibs will likely go down here. Maybe they forgo the second one. They want to be a little bit careful. Yeah, RNG playing on the side of Call. Because they don't need to. 10,000 gold here. Good punish by Flash Wolves. But then again, they didn't know what to do after the punish. They faced back and forth, like, yeah, we should teamfight them. How? Look at these soldiers backing away. Then the strike here. The entire backline gets hit. Xiaohu can cleanse out. Yes, he dies. He dies with two summoners, and that's maybe a mistake. But the teamfight convincingly won. 4v5. That was another spear.
Oh my god, MLXG.
Coming into the chase here. And from the backline, Xiaohu, wearing his slippers very comfortably, sliding left and right.
哇 ，NL 好粗喎
Static shock when he gets there.
，NL 好粗喎，屌！
Damage 205. Nash as well. There you go.
有同人馬得。
Thanks for that,
開晒咗啲經濟差，中路上路追住，人拉開唔
應該打 J 4先啊，唔長。
We've seen it. Sword Art drops just as fast.
And that's something I just enjoy so much. Watching teams know that despite being down a man or a couple of summoners or whatever, they just gauge whether they can win a fight or not. That ironically was one of SKT's biggest strengths, especially when there was a very dragon-focused meta. So often we saw them lose one member, but turn it around with just sick rumble ultis, whatever, like these really good condensed team fights around objectives. And RNG right now, they use the zone control from their soldiers so well. Mata right now is trying to keep on Karsa. He's playing goalkeeper. Karsa can steal though.
Getting in the Black Shield was the right idea. They're on to
點啊？打完未
Maple. Looper and Mata can keep themselves alive in that 2v3. They'll be perfectly fine. They call the team over to engage the 2v3. And now it's a 5v3 as you see. Maple has to run out of this. Karsa only from the side throwing water balloons, and that's not going to do much. NL will be going down here. The AD carry is the toughest job against this composition, and they're feeling it right now. MMD goes back in. He's on the Mata for the headbutt, but Mata actually just pulls him into a worse spot there.
The instant reactions and turns in this team fight, instantaneous shot calling, target selection here. RNG completely on fire here. They get the Dragon, they get the Baron, they get everything they want. They're looking for the Nexus.
MLXG.
Hey.
On the Rosie, is he going to be able to make it out? Flash jump, he's safe to go. They're on the Nexus. RNG looking to stay undefeated here in Shanghai. And just listen to that crowd as the Nexus goes down. RNG take down Flash Wolves. Actually a beautiful to see the crowd here light up. All these thundersticks going up. Cheers here for MLXG who managed to make it out there. They made it look easy, but impressive at the same time.
I feel like Flash Wolves dug themselves a bit of a hole with so many bans against the AD carry, trying to focus that Twitch Kindred composition. And you can hear the crowd. They owned the Rift.
That's just fantastic. That has to feel so great. That is what every pro gamer out there plays for. Moments like this when you can be on the big stage, doing well in the tournament against all expectations, and then having the crowd cheer your team name. That is just absolutely fantastic.
It's like I love that point because I don't think most people think about it. You are being internationally cheered on by your home crowd. An amazing feeling and an easy catalyst to continue going undefeated.
Yeah, it is very understated. I mean, not many people get the chance to experience it even, and it just feels so damn good. And they can be happy, and they've worked so hard for this. So many hours into practice, you know, in the solo grid, so much work that people don't see at the outset. Yeah, these guys are playing video games. Yeah, all they'll have to do is play, but it's such a taxing environment, so rough here to lose. But then when you win in front of this crowd and the cheer, it's so
mental and physical, so on par for RNG. Royal Never Give Up coming into this tournament and absolutely giving the LPL something to cheer about. A region that fell flat last year at international tournaments when it came down to it. This is what they need.
And they need one more win and then just rock the straight in first place. That's it for RNG. Yeah,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's so easy for them to win one more game. They have 3 more remaining. This year. They can easily go the full 10-0. It's there. The map is there. It's possible, guys. Ran into my head. We played 1 game today. We played 2 each day. That means 1 more remaining and 2 more tomorrow. I've done it.
But how much more pressure does that put on the other teams for the expected second place team as well to go down that hard to RNG, who just is not stopping their momentum?
I don't think you care about second. You care about second or third, but you sure as hell don't want to be 4th. I mean, at this point, teams are praying to get out against SKT. That's the state of the tournament. Are they really hoping that SKT plays 4th? Yeah. They can dodge it, and then at least you have a path to the finals. So that's what CLG is hoping for.
Sure. Got one more question before we go. Maybe the analyst desk can answer it. Did you give Mata Alistar? We'll see. Don't know. Yes. Right now, we're going to throw it to Dash and the guys at the analyst desk to break down that game.
Riv, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to ask this question to you, gentlemen. Alistar over to RNG. After we had made such a big deal about not giving them that champion, and Mata's made it known, give me that champion, I will win you the game.
Scrap that. They gave RNG their best champions in every single role. Like, RNG could go into a blind pick game of League of Legends right now. That is the composition they would lock in, and it just got gifted to them on a silver platter.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the bans that we see here with Twitch, Sivir, and Kindred. They targeted Whoosh with the AD carry position and the Twitch Kindred comp, but in order to target that composition, you just need 1 ban. You don't actually have to do the jungle plus the Twitch, especially when they get the mid side. And at that point, they've started themselves out of Kindred.
Yeah, the Kindred ban is
I mean, overall, you know Alistar is going to be first pick because both supports have shown it's the best champion for them. Both teams have shown they know how to play with it.
So whatever else you leave, you're going to get.
Right, and therefore, either this tells us that one, Graves is their preferred jungler for Kai'Sa, and he's like, I actually don't want the Kindred, but I know he actually really wants it. My other problem with it is, again, you have 3 junglers open, like Italy, Kindred, Graves, and multi-ban Kindred. There's still 2. That's the problem with this pick and ban phase. And start on Flash Wolf's side. Everything else, like, it's kind of obvious they want to play the Rise into the Azir. They don't really care if they're staffed of picks. NL is an old school Caitlyn player. Yeah, a legacy Caitlyn player. I don't even want to say that because, yeah, he hasn't really achieved anything on the champion.
Yeah, we can get into some criticisms of NL and the Caitlyn in just a moment, but I do want to touch on the Nidalee because we
我諗下先。
We had some concerns around Italy falling down. I mean, not necessarily falling out of like contention, but wasn't performing very well in this tournament so far. But MLXG put on a show here, Jad.
Nidalee had a losing record coming in. A lot of people were saying, hey, in a team fight meta, why are you still picking Nidalee who can't be good in team fights? Because you can still win the game off the back of a good Nidalee. The way MLXG hard farmed his way 20 CS ahead of Graves, which by the way, Graves can do nothing about. Nidalee just farms faster than Graves. And then he also can he was 3,000 gold ahead of pretty much everyone.
We saw
that absolutely up in the bot lane. I mean, that was a couple moments where it was like maybe Bulls got robbed of a kill in that exchange. Let's talk about ganking, teleporting lane. Double TP is always so crucial in this game, but they go into that means Maple can join. So Luver saving the day. RNG love to play League of Legends right now. Scrappy. Get in there and just take people out.
And we see an RNG team now who's getting a much better understanding of the macro in this game here, and that's why they're so scared. Fantastic players to start fighting. They can actually roam down because they already had river control, which means they can just run a much shorter route to the bottom lane and join.
其實我好少睇動漫，講真。
唔係呢個超好睇咯，唔係講笑。
3, 4, 5 seconds that matter so much in these
仆街！
skirmishes
撳錯咗佢接
one of them
喎。
must die for Flash before anyone even shows up.
And it's partially based in the Nidalee why we
佢
see
一彈出嚟，我0.1秒都冇撳咗佢住。
係啦。
Their first game against CLG, they didn't know what Aurelion sold,
Hey.
and they were really on their back feet. Like, that's not probably...
Yeah, we still say that's the game they were the closest to losing.
Absolutely, that was a game they were close to winning. Since then, they've been getting better and better and better. Their
MLXG with a Nidalee tutorial versus Flash Wolf。
surged them through the rest
睇
This was the first game that
係啊，
saw them
而家玩點
snowball
睇
super
啊？
hard, and it's really scary that they can now do that as well.
我
佢隻炮女留
搞
smite 紅 buff 喎， 打完
RNG was able
嗰
to pick up first dragon and Rift Herald, even the second dragon.
因為你都要幫打得多先至可以落米。
唔係啊，佢唔係其實佢都打到差唔多唔明前係。佢以為佢 smite 高啦。
啊，我覺得 Smite 高能其實易打好多，可以普攻還。
但係 smite 紅 buff 會多咗幾百血。
係可以回血啫，而嗰個，但係你之後打嗰啲 buff 會變落得多啲。
唔係㗎，因為炮女你打其他怪，打新郎4季呢啲全部都係清得好快㗎。
我知啊，我知4季清到快。
之後
唉，我再揀我先，我要打中國。我攞，快一刀嚟。
Flash Wolves don't realize the two guys on bottom side. MMD didn't push out the top lane, and that meant they for the next tier 2 towers. They actually were even. And Flash Wolves.
其實我哋都係要等嗰條友睇剩咗條友攬俾我哋。
Finally do free upside lane farm. It's not MMD getting the gold. They actually try and send NL there, and it just, you know.
I went back and looked at that. NL took 12 CS.
其實咧，我哋之前咪試過可以一定係搶嗰條路嘅。我唔記得點揀。
So you're saying you don't approve?
I do not approve of Flash Wolves lanes.
All right, Deficio does not approve, but RNG.
得㗎，4個得㗎。
That's true, and RNG played it well.
That is very much true. Motto of.
嗱，睇下第一定呢條係咩路，之後我哋又要長一個條。
Just a little bit better than everyone else. All right, well, RNG continuing their undefeated run here at MSI. We're going to step away, but meet us back here for our third game of the day as SK Telecom duke it out with Counterlogic.
先 ban 矛打，再 ban。
I'm sorry, I had to set you up.
No, it's perfect.
喂，嗰條叫 iPhone 4。
has been an absolutely amazing tournament, and it's
iPhone 4.
more here.
Fight's gonna continue as they push down the lane. 18 minutes in, this is the moment that RNG was able to just take hold of the last game. The bot lane is down in the DPS.
咁可以 ban 啦，我哋唔係 first pick。
Flash Wolves, a double kill coming in for Xiaohu. He's gonna look for another one. The Looper will pick that up. RNG looking to stay undefeated here in Shanghai.
太勁啦，屌馬香我。
Nexus goes down. RNG take down Flash Wolves.
咩啊？風家族乜㗎？香鍋。 香窩之後到 Mata， 之後到 Looper， 之後先到 Xiaohu， 最尾 Wu Xin， 我覺得咁樣排影響力。
可唔可以要 ban LB 啊？
邊 ban 啊？勁
？Thank you。
葉或者 LB 啊，兩隻都 ban。
之前 QSS 揀唔到叫嘅 ban。
係啊，你要 ban。好嘢，可以你知點啦 ？ban 嘅啩，或者 ban Graves 嗰啲。
啊，有鏡瓜有 Master E 有。
梗係 ban Master E 咯 ，Master E 喂。
考慮 counter 鏡瓜啦，唔驚。
我啊，先係真正嘅麻辣香鍋。
前期食多人一個 buff。
啱啊，食咗3個 buff 啊！
我都有啲驚。我睇出嚟，我睇。我咪同你講，我啱啱睇到。
我屌你係甩屎！反正個嘢。哇！你要玩得，你要揾隻同 Apple 抗衡嘅喎，啱先。Apple 會俾人打死。
Yeah。冇所謂。
嘢你打 Evilia， 又打 Evilia。係啊，你又打 Evilia。有冇人識玩其他上路應該？
Miss Ball 玩
冇諗冇。
冇啊。
哈力克咯，都得。哈力克。
正常啦。
哈力，唉，中國慘啦。MLXD。哇！啲 KD 好差喎。
Welcome back, everyone. The stage is set for our next match. 3 is SK Telecom versus the North American squad, Counter Logic Gaming. Now, SKT lost to CLG yesterday in a very back-and-forth game. But I think my big question to you guys is, with this SKT squad, how long do we look at this SKT squad as the team they were coming into the tournament versus the team they're showing us they are within this tournament?
I think, right now, after losing 4 games in a row, we look at the team now. And we say, well, first of all, coming into the tournament, we've only been looking at the games they've been playing in their own region, in their own meta, in that region. And I think what we've seen here at MSI is the teams need to be able to adapt to what their international MSI meta has become. And I don't think SKT has done that yet because they haven't had the time to sit down properly maybe and figure it out. As long as this team can make top 4 and get a week, I think they will learn.
And to be fair, I feel like Jat and I are actually experienced in what it is to actually know how long you have to judge a team as being a poor team, because TSM last MSI, LGD last Worlds, we've both been there and had these teams.
G2 this year?
Yeah, and honestly, it's until they start playing well again. And LGD, like the scary thing, let's do the juxtaposition, took them 7 weeks of the spring split to get back to where they were at Worlds, and maybe they're not even there still.
Yeah, and at least looking at SKT, they are getting leads. but add us MSI, like no lead is safe. If we look at the gold graph from the COG game that we had yesterday, it was just SKT ahead by a pretty wide margin late in the game, about a 5,000 gold lead at 32 minutes, and then it was just straight up gone.
Yep, absolutely. And that's indicative of what, Deficio, that SKT is out of sync? Is it individual mistakes? So where is the pitfall of this team right now?
I think mainly individual mistakes in these late game team fights. We again went back and rewatched some of them in the CLG game. As an example, full late game, Faker LeBlanc is like 9-1 and super fed. He messes up in the fight because he actually plays straight into an Azir wall, gets knocked up, then he gets killed instantly and the fight is over. Next fight, Bang jumps over a wall, 1v4 and dies. Happened quite a few times. Obviously, Blank is not performing well, and also his support in Wolf we don't even see in the game.
And that's the biggest thing for me, right? If you were like, you can have Wolf with 10,000 gold or Afro move from that game with 5,000 gold.
That's
you can
so mean,
like, every single time.
yeah.
Afro absolutely smashed CLG in that game, and he's
Smash SKT.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
And I think some of it just comes down to team play. Like, it's not like COG hasn't made mistakes and run to their 4-2 record. He has made some bad calls. Stixxay has been up too far. But when COG individuals make the mistake, the team is getting their back when they to fall back on. But when SKT is making the mistakes, the team falls apart. So it's the way they are reacting to their own mistakes that is the differentiating factor in these two teams.
Yeah, strong coordination out of the CLG squad. You already hit on Aframu a little bit, but I do want to kind of retouch on him. The fact that he's playing these range support.
30 seconds until minions
好粗啊！屌奶啊！
嗱，有啲即係眾人嘅好鬼過人。
佢叫復完你俾人驚啊死嘅！喂，後面。哦，俾人驚。
玩完 Only Watch。
隊友連續兩場都好累啊，贏唔到啊！
唉，冇我嘅爭啲啦，屌！
因為切唔到後排，啲機兵啊射，
冇
死神切，
冇我隻 Ripper 切後排真係爭好多。
我哋咪俾人 rip 咯。
啱啊！
冇你切我哋啲後排，
唉，
報晒我哋啲位置嚟。
我又冇咗我隻機械，弓又冇咗隻，算。
呢條
我哋視覺睇嘢啊！
又呢頭好勁啊！今朝又有一個精彩鏡頭。
我先亂咁掟到精彩鏡頭。
我唔明喎，有啲咧佢淨係企喺度 A 下 A 下咧，都精彩鏡頭。
啊，就係睇你 A 咯，幾精彩。
最搞笑有個喺度揼嘢，個派精彩鏡頭。
跟住揼完之後就殺咗幾個人。其實個精彩嘅多數都係打醬油嘅。
拜拜。最落風成日都精彩鏡頭啊！
係嘛？啊！我唔想俾佢鏟檔，仆街咁講。我抽咗好癲出嚟㗎。
冇事嘅，
呢條鏟檔，即係佢會
係啊，中差完咗之後鏟檔啊！
幾仆街啊！唔撚買佢鏟。
冇買啲鏟晒啊！
啊！我已經插晒人。
話咗中路俾人屌 hit JJ 喎。
唉。
話 invade 添喎，會太猛啦啲 JG。或者 JG 係 D 射㗎 ，sorry， 當冇講過。
啊。
係咩嚟㗎？
咁當唔當有講過啊？
我冇講過，經常發揮啊！
喺度 ，Echo 喺度。
我 Echo 真係企咗喺度喎 ，Echo 行去南北嘅，咦南北咧依入去之後，Echo 冇南北行過食屎啊！
喂，退啊喂！
我要退。
要回家吧。
嗱，3個北喎。
係啊，我個名叫馬拉香鍋啊，3個北啊。
風龍喎，唔係水龍嚟呢度，風龍嚟係咪？風龍 ，sorry。
啲河蟹喺嗰邊啊！
喺啲草叢匿埋。
講緊係樣。你都冇。
人才交換咯。話你只要醫技升得高嘅話，你哼咗落去之後，佢就企喺度咯。佢係咁吸普攻喎。諗住次次 A 到你，然後自己吸普攻，真係老監。唉，
睇戲咁嘅嗌，你睇戲嘅。
唉， 我見到6020喎，我真係唔
sorry。Echo。
打俾大家加油啊！唔係到我做咩啊？佢點啊？佢唔翻嚟啊？
打完佢，佢冇大鏡，攞去。老死！
你咁等啊？咁等咯。哇，正喎！咁就咁決定咯。SKT 對 CLG， 點解 Blank 都仲喺度嘅？
counter 我紅 buff， 我 counter 你藍 buff 啊！
我覺得你嗰度好嘈咯，方。
係好嘈。
Echo 冇真係好有型喎，點解可以咁有型？
你翻兵啦！垃圾。
邊個俾人過嚟？
喂，又玩龍獸喎 ，CLG 又 Cookie， 你點睇 B 字？使錄低俾你睇啊！
佢要證明自己啊！
今次係咪 SKT 訪問嗰陣時話，對面隻龍獸真係唔係好勁？
啱啦，唔好撚周圍學嘢啦，垃圾啦！
幾時有冇興趣玩龍獸進步啊？到時到我話你隻龍獸有啲廢啊！
攞嚟！嚟啊，上啊！
要個豬扒酸藍先啦。係冇啦，飲多奶茶。係咁多。我哋嗰個。真係。叫外賣啊！即係。
係啊！一個係叫外賣啊？
係啊。
食咩啊你？
救命啊！
點解你叫外賣咁有禮貌嘅德哥？
隻米線咧？
唔係啩？米線自己屋企煮都得啦，唔得。
哇！好食㗎。
邊間啊？
嗰個
唔得。
桃園啊？
嗯。
未聽過。喺你屋企附近食嘅嘢都未聽過。
喺華心樓下。
哇！咁真係太遠啦。
哇！你真係過分。
我食過一間雞幾好食喎，手撕雞公仔麵嗰間，又係巴士站街嗰度。
咩公仔麵啊？
手撕雞公仔麵，同埋有啲麻辣皮蛋。
邊間啊？
我唔知叫咩名喎，3個字嘅，跟住然後巴士站附近啊，小巴站，係巴士站。
邊度巴士站啊？
巴都對面嗰個。
巴都對面。
買個好似街市咁嘢，我唔知個咩
長華村啊？
華村啊，長華村路好遠啊，知喎。
哇！
巴都 M 記，跟住然後對面咪有個巴士站，啲小巴站嘅。咁我哋下次買俾你食啊！有幾多㗎？都少真係，好平，15蚊個喎。如果收工過去，啲阿姨仲俾晒啲雞你添喎，揾唔到面。
是在偷一点事，哎呀，我找你干什么？有冇幫我睇個手面啊？
嚟啦，各位！就你啫嘛！哦，你仲行翻轉頭啊？咩啊？你俾佢啊！
有套嘢唔可以小説改編嘅，跟住我揾咗電視劇，都冇好多大陸台啊。
買佢啦！ 快啊！啊，走唔甩啦！拉開啦，我覺得。屌佢有紅髮。
佢片完有問題咯，佢片完有問題，你要等其他人申報咗佢嗰個嘢有問題之後，呢佢自己走去整先啦。
爭啲屌！哎呀，晒啲嘢。屌又冇撚咗，好唔好？Oh shit！
夠啊！
好難打啊！你冇無機人跳。
Holy fuck！
你同佢講，我哋阿哥俾佢。
仆街！用刀頭先，打死佢先，打死佢先，我打嘅。屌冇人打佢，喊出嚟。屌隻甩絲有冇大嘅？你冇帶機仲同人隻手喊啫。約上面啊，睇佢咯。唉，點打寶牌啊？飛龍。 你隻都信啊屌！大家冇佢係生到嚟，大家冇套都生到嚟，啱，係啊，你咪而家先知啊，梗唔係啦，好廢啊！仆街，隻鷹都冇位移我哋隊，點解咁打？隻都有位移。好撚痛啊！點解唔開大啊？攻落去先啦，冇流啦啲嘅。唉，有得。轟佢啦！哈利冇大技啊！唉，點打啫？咬我啦！阿里都已經冇大技啦，至少一早死咗。好彩冇大技啫，阿里唔係死緊咗啦已經。哇！仆街同撚到嘅佢。 你做乜嘢？你指？我打。
Bait and switch though. The root right shallow wards, the enemy jungle here. I think was always ready to run down because they still have the 2v2 trading potential here. The only thing that's buying them time, T-wise, is obviously Duke pushing the bot lane. Once that lane gets hit, Starshawn has to react. So, it's successfully guarding a minor map move here. Finding you in that back court. Good old, you see that whole back bar, you can get that. Good old rotations. Teleport play coming in soon, I think. Oh, there we go.
Cho anh tăng đâu rồi nè. Oh, Apple
Not happy, right? That bomb, I don't think it's, oh, the minions. Faker tells, yo, man, you the bomb. You're the bomb. Yeah, he was just kind of like, right, we're leaving here. Sorry. Only stepping their bounce.
输人錢。
For the teleport, SPP going back. So this time, they're waiting for mistakes and punishing them with the teleports as opposed to almost like not push them. He's like, okay, guys, we need to No way to wait. They force something, they fail, they kill, so they put this other. Calculated. Whoa, SKT style over the LCK. They haven't been a super fast team. They do, they have the mid to late game. Yep. And that's been by recently. He's got the ability to use their composition to its maximum effect, whether it's flanking straight on or just keeping behind the team with Duke, creating those plays off of brute force. You're absolutely correct. Much slower, 20 minutes in, SKT looked to get dragged.